welcome back to another video. In this video I wanted to talk about how you can attune yourself to a source of creation that is already residing inside every person and create art. Now you can use this ability to create art by not by the usual things that we think create art, but by attuning yourself, by unlearning to create art. So let me try to explain what I'm trying to get here at. So the source of creation that we are able to interact is here right now in this very moment, which is it is the empty space that is looking through those eyes and through those ears and through that mind. It is that space that is what is the source of creation. And in order to be able to be in that source of creation, it is important to understand a few words or a few terms. So first, let us understand how we usually think that art is created, especially for those who are not in any creative profession, or who don't really understand how to create art, who have understood how things work on the mechanical level. Like, for example, in order to learn a skill, you can read a book about it, or in order to learn a skill, you can go and practice that skill by learning it. This is usually how we learn a mechanical subject. For example, here let us try to understand this by using coding. So in order to learn how to code, you will go and practice code. First you will learn the basics of how the variables work and how the language works, and how you can use different aspects of the language to manipulate different things in the program. You will learn this through a book or through a teacher, and then eventually you will start practicing. You will start you will start solving problems, and you will be given tasks to create things. But in order to create complete original new ideas and complete new things out of nothing, then we mostly think that it is based on our previous knowledge. The statement is accurate only up to a certain level. So what I mean by this is, so of course a person who has no knowledge about coding cannot create a completely new original software that is, and to call that a piece of art. Of course you will need a little bit knowledge about things, but here what I'm trying to get at is creation does not really require the learning or the knowledge that we usually think is required. So a new idea can be formed not through continuous learning. It can be formed through a practice that I call, that I have developed for myself, is you can delve into a certain topic for a day. That is, you can completely immerse your mind into one topic and then let go of it completely, and then you will see that after a while your mind gives out ideas that are very original, that may seem very original. So this attuning to yourself. So let me explain this method a bit more and elaborate this method. So if you want to have an original idea on a topic of philosophy, for example, you can go, and what you can do is, first you will delve into philosophy completely, forgetting everything else for a day or for 2 days or maybe even for a week. Delve into it completely, and then after that you leave the topic completely for a week. Don't even remind yourself of it. Be completely free, and maybe find something else that can divert your mind completely, and you will see that after a week you will be having spontaneous new original ideas about this topic that you are researching. So this method is very useful, but I also want to say that what you are doing here is basically giving your subconscious, you are making this knowledge that you have gained through completely one-pointed focus on this topic. You are making this topic go deeper into your subconscious mind, and then when you are consciously neglecting this topic completely, the processing is taking place in the subconscious mind, and it is giving out ideas that are completely new, or that may seem completely new to the person who is perceiving it. So this is how you can generate new ideas and on any topic that you want. But what I have found through experience is the second part that is more difficult. The first part, that is one-pointed focus on your interest, is actually very easy to do. That is, you can, if you are really interested in this topic, then you can find it very easy to read a bunch of books, or to listen to a few podcasts on this topic, or to practice a lot. And then the second part, that is surrendering, or the ability to consciously negate the mechanical process that you have found yourself in, is actually the hard part. So if you want to write or get a new short story idea, or a story idea, or any type of idea, the hard part is not writing the story. In fact, I would suggest a person who is a writer to take a break from writing. This creates something that this actually unblocks you and unblocks your mind and makes it go into this state of creativity that is accessible to anybody here. So surrendering is the key here. It is not one-pointed focus or learning, but instead it is surrendering and letting go of the thing that is going to attract you towards that thing. So this ability to surrender, and this ability to be unattached and detach yourself of the outcome of your actions, is a very strong ability to have. It is something that needs a lot of practice and a lot of mental patience. And of course you can create mediocre art by by just doing whatever you are doing, but this method can enhance your ability even more. That is, by understanding how the mind works, you are able to tap into a source, that is the source of creation. And the source of creation, even of this moment, or even of this thought that we are having, or even any idea, is emptiness, it is awareness, it is the state of higher consciousness. And when you are in this state of higher consciousness, you are able to perceive things completely in a manner of complete detachment. Detachment is not a physical detachment, that is what we usually might think, or what I used to think. What I used to think of detachment was to withdraw yourself from the object of your detachment, but it is harder to be detached when you are in the physical presence of the object. That is actually real detachment. So it is a kind of mental detachment, which is abiding yourself into awareness. Awareness and surrender is the key to creating good art, and not just art in general, to creating new ideas about different things. So sometimes you will find that you are in the shower, or you are just walking on the street and have this epiphany moment of idea that just comes into your mind out of nowhere. This is because you are not thinking about the generation of idea. You are detached from the object, and hence this idea just arises due to a subconscious process in your mind. So all you have to do to create good art, and to create anything in general which is original, which is not a synthesis of different ideas, or which is not a duplicate of a different thing, is to surrender to your subconscious and let it do its own thing. But this method that I have talked to you about earlier can be utilized and experimented with by changing a lot of different variables. For example, you can do another thing that I used to do earlier, is that you can completely isolate yourself and delve one-pointedly on one topic, and then completely forget about it for a few months even, and then you will see that isolation on that one topic will give rise to fresh ideas that are completely original, that are not even a synthesis of different topics, but it's a new groundbreaking theory on that topic that you were delving in. So how do you invent a new idea? Like, how do you think that a person gets an idea which is completely different from all other ideas? This happens when you are attuned to the frequency of creation. And this is where spirituality comes into play. I don't want to trigger some of you who might think or that spirituality or God in some sense is somehow responsible for your creation, but I used to think the same, that whenever people talked about God or spirituality in the sense of creation, it created a trigger in me that would just make me get away from that topic. But what I'm trying to again suggest here is, when you attune yourself to a higher consciousness, there are things that happen. You become a channel, or you become a source that is bringing in new information that is required for the society or the universe to transform. So when you attune yourself to this source of creation, and when you start vibrating in that frequency, you will be able to catch these ideas. It is just like how your microphone or your phone catches those signals that are relevant to it. It does this by tuning itself to that frequency. And when you attune yourself to that frequency, you will naturally get all these ideas. For example, the greatest inventor Nikola Tesla used to get his invention ideas by tuning himself to nature. It is not, and he created electricity, and he is responsible single-handedly for light that you see, that you use to light and to see things in this universe. And he did this single-handedly through attuning himself to nature and attuning himself to this source of creation. So art or creation of new ideas or inventions is not something that you learn from outside or something that you do research upon like a scientist in a laboratory. It is not something like that. It is attuning your mind and your soul to this frequency and allowing yourself to be able to channel these things. This may sound very irrational to some of us, and it used to sound very irrational to me too, because anything that related to spirituality or to God sounded very irrational, but this is the honest truth about creation of art in general. So, but coming back to Nikola Tesla, who was single-handedly able to make frequency change into electricity, he was a genius who did not obviously gain any monetary benefit from his inventions. In fact, he died bankrupt, which is also an important thing to think about, because usually mechanical processes are what are leading the monetary industry here in the world right now. So we usually think this that a mechanical process like a job or or a mechanical process like working in a factory or in a software company and doing mechanical things will lead us to monetary gains, which is of course true, and this is how it's going on in the world right now. But eventually things are going to change due to invention of artificial intelligence and this rapid progress in this field. A lot of mechanical processes are going to be invalid, and the only thing that is going to matter now is our ability to create and attune ourselves to the source of creation and create new original ideas, not through a mechanical process but through attuning ourselves to the source and creating original ideas. So that is why things are shifting towards creativity and towards content and content creation, and it is very important for us to become and practice to create art. So I hope this method helps a few of you, and I hope this video was insightful in some regards to some of you, and if it was, I would highly suggest you to subscribe to my channel so that I can share my ideas that I myself have been generating since a few years now. So thank you for watching this video.